that rubric forward as well.
California's higher education system is facing a crisis that could haunt our state for decades.
Without the workforce, the highly educated workforce, California as a state will cease to be able to compete on the global level.
California State Assemblymember Ira Ruskin knows our colleges and universities are at a critical crossroads.
The numbers of the baby boomers who are retiring are so great that unless we can educate the next generation, we're not going to have enough people to fill those jobs, to compete on a global level, so California can compete on a global level.
Ruskin, co-chair of the Joint Committee on the Master Plan for Higher Education, knows much has changed in the 5 decades since the master plan was created.
Technology is very different, and it plays a much greater role in life than it did 50 years ago. We're now in a global marketplace. So the students who are graduating from colleges and universities, they need to be effectively prepared to compete in a global marketplace. Things are different now. Things have transformed.
Assemblymember Ruskin is holding a series of hearings to ascertain just how we can continue to educate California's future workforce during these tough economic times.
I know that the state of affairs today is dire, that as a state we are looking at crisis.
College students like Miguel Alex Centeno understand California's financial situation. But they also understand that balancing our budget on the backs of college students will only steal the promise of an education from our young people and decimate our state's economy for generations to come.
What is not at stake here is just not public policy. It's the very values in our very future. This is not just about a budget today, it's about our people tomorrow.
California has to make some painful sacrifices to alleviate the budget deficit. But experts like Brian Murphy, president of De Anza College, say cuts to higher education would be a fatal blow to California's future prosperity.
The necessity of public investment in order to grow an economy. Put simply, people who misunderstand the role of public investment in the provision of public goods like higher education in favor of short-term tax advantages simply don't understand how advanced capitalism works.
Murphy says California is already falling behind on the number of college graduates we should be producing to ensure the state's long-term prosperity, and that pressure to cut the higher education budget now will in fact doom our economy in the long term. Assemblymember Ruskin agrees.
We have to understand what California needs for prosperity over the next several decades. We have to ascertain that in an objective way, and then we have to commit ourselves to the kind of higher education system that will enable us to move forward in the coming decades.
This report was produced by the Speaker's Office of Member Services.